Back live tonight, Taki on In Focus. Nelson Mandela Bay Executive Mayor Gary van Niekerk is facing criticism over what opposition parties in council say are empty promises. The opposition says the mayor failed to deliver on his promises to end load shedding and to improve basic services. For more on that discussion, we're joined now by Mayor van Niekerk himself and Nelson Mandela Bay EFF chairperson Khanya Ngqisha. You can also give us your thoughts tonight, 072-110-5584. Otherwise, drop us a message on X at Newzroom 405. Gentlemen, good to have you, and thank you very much for coming on. Let's talk firstly about the collapse of council last week. What led to the collapse of that council meeting? Khanya?
Well, what led to the... Yes, thank you very much. Greetings to the viewers at home. What led to the council meeting was the fact that we've got a problem with the Speaker of Council who refuses to instill order and decorum in the council meeting. We've got a number of councillors that continue to disrupt council, insult female councillors without end, and they do this with impunity. One of the councillors, in fact, who is an ANC councillor who's disabled, even raised this in a council meeting and stated that she had even written a letter to the office of the Speaker in a council meeting, and still of today, that particular councillor, there's no action that has been taken against that particular councillor. And this is a councillor from Good, whose name is Councillor Thron. So what happened is that he had uttered a word that is considered a swear word to one of our female councillors. And so I had to get up and defend that female councillor, and it got heated, and there was an altercation of words, and the council meeting got chaotic, and eventually the Speaker adjourned the meeting. Yeah. But once again, this is a councillor that is very problematic, disorderly, each and every council meeting, and still today there's no action that has been taken against that particular council.
So why is your coalition not putting forward a motion to remove the Speaker if you're saying the Speaker is not able to effectively deal with these issues?
Well, the Speaker, remember, we're in a form of a coalition government, if you want to put it like that. The Speaker belongs to the ANC, and in our GLU, which is an informal setup and informal arrangement which assists in terms of the smooth functioning of government as political parties. We have raised this a number of times and we felt that we are not being unreasonable, because even these councillors that are continuously being victimized by this particular councillor, some of them are even ANC councillors. Even the deputy mayor, who's a chairperson of the ANC, in fact, has been insulted by this particular councillor, and the councillor which I speak of is an ANC councillor. But when he became spoke well, can be considered as swear words into one of our female councillors, that is when I stood and intervened. So it is a matter of the ANC needs to take action against that particular Speaker, and so that there can be order in the House. And it's a matter that we've raised as well in the platforms in which we operate in.
Yeah. So the Good Party could turn around and say, well, the reason why you want them dealt with is because they opened a case against yourself of allegations of bribery and corruption.
Well, we welcome that. That is what we've been saying must be done all along, instead of throwing remarks which are very careless. And by the way, that particular councillor, I've taken him to court. Why did I take him to court? Is so that I can prove to you as the public that I've got nothing to hide. Because I know in council he will be asked, because if you accuse someone of bribery, then you must prove it and come with facts. Still, as of today, that particular councillor has produced zero facts. What he did, he went to the police station with the zero facts, with the hope that the police would go and investigate and find something. One of the accusations that he made, in fact, is that the SRC president at NMU is a beneficiary of EPWP. That is an incorrect, it's a lie. And it will be proven when we go to court, when I'm suing him for close to 2 million rands, because I've got nothing to hide. So it's got absolutely nothing, the fact that he went and opened a case. We released a statement saying that he must go and open a case and stop making noise and irritating us on Facebook and causing chaos council meetings. Allow the police to investigate so that the truth can come out. I'm the one that has initiated the process of suing him and taking civil action so that the truth can come out, because we've got absolutely nothing to hide.
All right. We did, by the way, invite the defenders of the people to be a part of this, but unfortunately, at last minute, they've turned us down. But nonetheless, Mayor van Niekerk, they are accusing you of making false promises. Apparently, you are, in fact, it's not them, but it's the ACDP that says you promised to end load shedding within 7 days, if I'm correct.
No, that's not what I said, but I just want to latch on to what you discussed earlier regarding the Councillor Troon. If you go and look at that video, it happened right next to me, where these remarks were made at the councillor, and it was ugly. I thought the Councillor Troon was going to come to blows with some of the councillors, and it was really ugly words being said by Councillor Troon. And I haven't been spared by Councillor Troon. In fact, I'm one of his main victims when it comes to his remarks that he passes in council. And yes, I will definitely testify if should anything case be opened or whatever. I'll be there to testify. But coming back to answer your question regarding the load shedding and so forth, that's not exactly what I said. Councillor Grootboom is very economical with the truth. Let me tell you exactly what I said. I said, in those areas where we have smart meters, we can, in a very short space of time, end the load shedding as we know it currently. And what happens currently is that everybody in a particular area or particular zone gets cut off from the grid. And what we've proposed, and Councillor Grootboom at the time was the MMC of Electricity and Energy. And it took quite a bit of effort to get him into a meeting where one of our consultants came to us and told us this is an alternative that we could use. And they're using it in many other municipalities. So we thought we could try it at our municipality. And guess what? We did. We're doing it in Southend at the moment, where we have this load curtailment. So you don't get cut off from the grid completely, but you have a limited supply or less supply of electricity. So what you can do is you can still have a light on in your house. You can still charge your phone. You might be able to use your TV as well. But you won't be able to do all those things that you normally do, which is cook, have your fridge on, have your freezer on, have your pool pump on, have your aircon on. That will be possible. What will then happen via the smart meter, your smart meter will beep and tell you that you are now using in excess of what you're supposed to be using during your slot. And if you disobey the beeping of the smart meter, you will then get cut off from the grid. That is what I said in a nutshell, in very basic terms. And Councillor Grootboom has chosen to twist my words and make me out to be the savior of load shedding. So yeah, it's politics, they say. And in the absence of me I tried in council the other day to put my version of events forward, but they still come forward and talk nonsense. Yeah.
So I see you also lost your cool a little bit when Councillor Troon was interjecting while you're trying to raise issues. But I suppose then this takes us to what Khanya was raising around the question of the speaker. There are some saying that the speaker is really a puppet speaker in a sense that she doesn't know the rules of council and doesn't know how to apply them correctly.
Look, I was the speaker before she was the speaker. I had two stints of being speaker with two different coalitions, and it's not an easy job. being the speaker. However, when we put it to the speaker in this particular meeting, the last meeting, and we told her exactly what the rules are, that she should put it to a vote, whether we want to listen to the motion. And the motion was against me, coincidentally. It was regarding my haircut, me grooming myself to well. And then the speaker ruled that against what the rules of order were saying, and she said no, that she wants to listen to the different arguments, and that's when things got out of hand, and unfortunately she chose to end the meeting abruptly and adjourn the meeting.
Mayor, there are also other allegations about your trip to China and having spent millions on that trip. Was it taxpayers' money? What was the purpose of that trip?
We went to China to start a dialogue with the people of China. And what happened was that when we flew so the flight is from Gqisha to Johannesburg, from Johannesburg to Dubai, from Dubai to Shanghai to Xinjiang. I forget the proper pronunciation, but it was 4 flights. And when we got to Johannesburg and we had to board our connecting flight to Dubai, what then happened was that there was something wrong with the account. Our flight wasn't booked, and we were sitting around for like 6 hours. And when we eventually wanted to go, and when they told us now, the travel agent called to say we can now board, that's when the airline told us we cannot board anymore. And we were booked into a hotel that evening, came back to the airport the following morning in Johannesburg. And then we knew we needed to be in China on Monday morning. So being Saturday morning, the only available flight where the 3 of us could be accommodated on was a first-class flight. And it was then, I didn't have anything to do with the bookings of these flights. This is when the officials decide what's best. And the only available flight was this first-class flight, and we took the one flight from Johannesburg to Dubai, the one leg of the flight, and then from there we flew from Dubai to Shanghai, and that flight was a 12-hour flight, and we didn't even, according to the government gazette, the rules of the government gazette, I should be flying business class, but that flight of mine was an economy class, but nobody talks about that as well. So it was an economy class flight, and the next flight, the joining flight, was also an economy class flight. Out of those 8 legs going and coming, only the one leg of the flight was a first class flight, and that was all due to out of necessity that we had to get on that flight in order to be in China. We reached China at around about 10 o'clock the Sunday evening. Woke up again 6 o'clock the following morning, heavily jet lagged. We only really got rid of the jet lag by Wednesday evening. Yeah, so that is in a nutshell what it was all about.
Yeah,
and I've explained this thing over and over in council as well.
Yeah, Khanya, let's talk then about your view of the state of the municipality. I mean, many are saying it is in paralysis as far as service delivery is concerned.
Well, that is absolutely incorrect. That would be the view of the opposition, because obviously, their view is to critique and to sit with a red pen, and that is the type of narrative that the DA always try and paints in relation to this particular municipality. For instance, they've spoken and lambasted us in terms of expenditure. And we've explained that, for instance, when it comes to expenditure, no one speaks of the operational expenditure budget, of which it's sitting now at 50% or so, of which the operational budget, the total budget of operations is close to 17 billion. The capital expenditure budget currently is sitting at about 27%, going to 30%. And mainly it was because of Treasury itself approving our business plans late. And also there was an issue where the Minister of Finance held grants because of the issue of the city manager, of which we complied and eventually dealt with, and eventually those grant fundings were released.
Yeah.
But if you look in terms of how Treasury rates municipalities, they look at 4 things, which is number 1 is the financial performance, number 2 is institutional arrangement, number 3 is your governance and service delivery, becomes number 4. Now, if you look at financial performance, out of all the municipalities in the country, only 2 municipalities have rated as sound in terms of financial performance. And the Nelson Mandela Metro is one of those municipalities, including the Cape Town municipalities, the Cape Town municipality. And just to give you an idea of how sound we are, if a natural disaster were to happen in Nelson Mandela Metro for 3 months, even if we were unable to collect rates and taxes for 3 months, we'll be able to be fine.
Khanya, let's leave it there because of time. Much appreciated, and thank you. I get the point. Unfortunately, because of time, we'll leave it there. Gary van Niekerk, Nelson Mandela Bay Mayor, and Khanya Ngqisha, EFF Regional Chairperson there in Nelson Mandela Metro. In Focus continues with more after the break.